Now then YouTube, I'm the Toffman and welcome back to part 2 of my Botania mod spotlight for 1.7.2, the version. Now, I've been going through the versions since it became 1.7.2, so if you haven't seen part 1 yet, you've missed a lot. So go back, watch part 1, and then come back for part 2. Baubles and accessories are today's things that I'm going to be going over, as well as a couple of other bits and bobs as well. So we're going to start with the Band of Aura at the top here. The Band of Aura is a bit of a deviation from the type... Hang on a second. Let me start that one again. The Band of Aura is a bit of a deviation from the typical Band of Mana, in which, instead of storing mana, it slowly, while equipped, creates it and stores it into mana-containing items in the wearer's inventory. Using some Terra Steel allows for an upgrade which lets it generate mana at a significantly faster rate. So, it looks like we may have to pop back slightly here and have a look at the Band of Mana. Show you what this does. Combining a mana tablet with some mana steel creates an easily worn ring that functions exactly similar to the tablet used to make it, but can be worn as a bauble. Using... That's a really funny word. It's like something on a Christmas tree. Using some Terra Steel allows for an upgrade which lets it store about 4 times as much mana. So you can get 4 mana steel ingots, guys, and a mana tablet, and that will get you the Band of Mana. And as you can tell, guys, it's a ring that allows you to store mana. Let's go and take a look. Ring. No, it's not called that, is it? It's a mana band. There it is. Band of Mana. As you can see, it's got nothing in there at the moment, guys. Nothing in there. Now, to get to your baubles, you've got to press B. And as you can see... Oh, I've got 2 of them. There we are. I'm going to put it there. Equipable in the ring slot, as you can see. Right, let's go ahead and start storing some mana in there. Storing mana, guys. Now, as you can see, guys, we have a full band of mana. Let's go into our baubles and equip that, and it will act like a mana tablet, but in this case, as a Band of Mana instead. So I wouldn't need that creative tablet. I'm going to keep it there anyway because it's creative, but it would act like a mana tablet, just not taking up your inventory. It will just do it from the baubles accessories instead. And of course, like I quickly went over, the Band of Aura, it actually creates mana. So, while equipped, it has to be equipped first. This isn't classed as equipped. You've got to get it into your bauble slot. That is the Band of Aura. That is the greater Band of Aura, which is the like second tier of it, basically. The Band of let's go back here. The Band of Mana has exactly the same. You've got your normal Band of Mana, and then you've got your greater Band of Mana, which is basically an upgrade to this one. Okay, and then of course the Band of Aura creates it, which you 4 mana steel along with a rune of mana. And this creates it, the Band of Aura. So you can actually use both of these in conjunction with each other. I'm going to get a Band of Mana and a Band of Aura. Band of Mana, Band of Aura. There we are. That creates it, that stores it. Let's open the baubles. Get rid of that one. Let's put the Band of Mana in there. At the moment, you can see the damage value is 1000, means nothing's going on. But if I get my greater Band of Aura and stick that in there, now that is going to go ahead, let me get into normal mode, and start generating mana. So if I go into my baubles now, it should be generating mana. We'll come back to that, and we'll it is slow, guys, but it does say Band of Aura. What? It slowly, while equipped, creates it and stores it into mana containing items in the wearer's inventory. So there you are, guys. We'll come back to that, and I'll show you what happens with this. Over time, it will start filling up. And there we are, guys. You can see the damage value has changed to 999 now, which means it's basically filling up. We've got a golden laurel crown. That's the next thing I want to show you guys. It's really good as this. One of the uses for the essence of eternal life, it doesn't have any other use but this particular recipe, is to, of course, grant a layer of immortality to one that uses it. While wearing a golden laurel crown, if the wearer were to die, the crown will shatter, regenerating all of their health and giving them a short period of invincibility. It's crafted with 2 gold ingots, leaves, and the essence of eternal life in the middle there, and that will get you the golden laurel crown. So let's show this in action, shall we not? Now I'm going to go ahead and take off this stuff, because I can. And I'm going to go into creative and fly all the way up, guys, and I'm going to kill myself. That's right, I am actually going to kill myself. I think this is far enough up. There you are, your golden laurel crown shatters as it saves you from death. And you've got resistance for around about 12 seconds-ish, somewhere along the line there. So, unfortunately though, your golden laurel your golden laurel crown is now broken. And if you die again, you're dead. Minding my own business. I just fell in lava. Oh, it's not actually hurting me. Why is that, guys? Well, it's this thing. The Pyroclast Pendant is another bauble / accessory that you can use. The Pyroclast Pendant is a bauble that absorbs any heat whilst it's warm. The wearer becomes completely impervious to fire or lava damage. You need a rune of summer, a rune of fire, 4 pieces of string, and a mana diamond. Hanako could definitely have used one of them. Okay. So, if we have a look at the baubles, don't forget, guys, you cannot stack things. You can only wear one kind of pendant, guys. So that's the Pyroclast's pendant. I've decided I want to try to change that water into ice, guys. Oh, it's doing it itself. Why is that? Another bauble. Snowflake Pendant, guys, is one that will change water into ice and will also turn it back into water if you're far enough away. If you also sneak, it won't work. And it won't work if you're also submerged in the water as well. So just be careful on that one, guys. I would love it. Actually, I might put in a feature request to change the lava into obsidian. Ooh, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Anyways, that is the Snowflake Pendant. If you have a look into here, the Snowflake Pendant is a bauble that resonates freezing energy. While it's worn, any nearby still water blocks at foot level will be converted into ice. The ice will melt shortly afterward. The wearer leaves the area. Lastly, this charm will not freeze any blocks if the wearer is sneaking or fully submerged. So that's, you use the rune of winter, the rune of water, 4 pieces of string, and the mana steel ingot. Again, guys, it goes on the pendant slot, so you can only wear one pendant at a time. The next bauble allows you to move a lot faster, as you can see, and will also take automatic 1 step up of blocks, unless you are sneaking, in which case you don't. If you're sneaking and you run, it feels like you're just walking. If you're not sneaking and you walk, you're going a lot faster, and you go up 1 blocks. This is called the Sojourner's Staff. I think it's called something like that. There you are. And it is a sash, not staff. What am I on about? It goes on the belt slot, the bottom one, so you can use this in conjunction with the pendants I've shown you previously. The Sojourner's Staff, whatever you want to call it, is crafted with 4 pieces of leather, rune of earth, a rune of air, and a mana steel ingot. Where is it? Traversing terrain sometimes proves to be a hassle. The the S sash can be equipped in the belt slot, and when worn will increase movement speed, jump height, and resistance to fall damage of the wearer. Lastly, if not sneaking, it also allows the wearer to walk over 1 block high gaps without jumping with ease. So, oh yeah, it does. And of course, fall damage. No fall damage, which is great. How high does that fall damage go? Let's have a look, guys. Let's have a look. Gonna go this high. Ooh, I only lost 1 heart there. That's not bad. It's not bad at all, and it doesn't take damage, so it seems. All right, guys. Well, that is the sash. I keep calling it stash. It's not a stash. It's a sash. Here is a spider. It could quite well be a skeleton, or it could be a zombie, or anything like that. But I want to kill this spider, but I'm on a high ledge. Let's go and get a high ledge, guys. Let's go and get a high ledge. using some sandstone, I'm going to make myself a high ledge. Really quickly. A high ledge that's too high. Because that's high for me. And I get scared. I get scared nice and easily, guys. Let's get a spider in here. There we go. I'm going to whack it. Right next to the edge. Come on. Did you notice that, guys? I mean, unfortunately, the spider doesn't seem to want to try to kill me or do anything like that. But every time it hits me, I'm not moving. I'm not getting knocked back by any type of attack that this spider is doing on me. I am getting hurt, but that's besides the point. Get off. Get off. I forgot they can climb. Let me get a blade. Go away. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so basically what this is called is the tectonic thingamabob. I forget what it's called now. There it is. Tectonic girdle, and that goes on your belt slot, so you cannot put this with the Shizor. God, I feel like I've had a drink when I say that. Tectonic girdle stops you taking knockback. That's basically what it does. You can craft it with leather, rune of earth, rune of fire, and a mana steel ingot. And let's go and take a look at this. By harnessing the forces of tectonic movement, the tectonic girdle, when worn, will negate any knockback applied to the wearer by outside attacks. It also works on PvP as well, guys. So if somebody's whacking you with a knockback 5 weapon or something like that, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to stick dead still, guys. And that is the tectonic girdle. The next and final thing on my list of baubles to go through is the tiny planet. Now let me go ahead and explain what this is. The tiny planet is a bauble with gravitational properties. While equipped, the tiny planet will pull any nearby mana bursts towards the wearer, having them orbit him or her. By increasing its mass with 3 S's, with some stone, it can also be placed in the world for the same effect. So let me go ahead and go on to the next page here. The tiny planet can be crafted with 4 stone, the mana pearl, and the living rock. And the block version of it, the one that goes into the world, can be crafted with the tiny planet and some stone around it. Now, there's a cool little thing that you can do with this. With the Terror Blade, you will know that when you fire this, it will fire off a mana burst that will kill things. Well, when you've got the tiny planet around you, it doesn't. It actually orbits you. So, if I was to go over and sit in this little thing here, this pig will get it. It will slowly go outwards. There we are. And the pig has had it, which I think is fantastic. And don't forget, guys, the tiny planet comes in block form as well. And also, the tiny planet goes on your pendant slot. Can't go anywhere else, so don't try to put it anywhere else. Let's put the tiny planet down here. Right, and I'm going to fire a mana blast at that. There you go. Hey, how amazing is that? Now, that can actually be used for a variety of different things, guys. And I'm probably going to show you that later on in this episode. In Beta 26, something else was added into Botania, which I think is great and so needed if you're to be using Botania as one of maybe 1 or 2 mods within a mod set that you're probably playing. Alchemy, guys. Alchemy Catalyst has been added into Beta 26 of Botania. Mana is an extremely volatile substance to a point that its complete properties and abilities are unknown. One of them is known, though, by attaching an Alchemy Catalyst. Created with a mixture of otherworldly materials to the bottom of a mana pool, it enables the pool to perform alchemy. So, let's put the alchemy catalyst down and make sure we put the mana pool on the top of it. As you can see, it is there. And guys, it will allow you now to do alchemy. Basically, you can craft it with 4 living rock, 2 gold ingots, mana pearl, and a couple of brewing stands, and it will allow you to do alchemy. Basically change one thing to another thing using mana. And as you can see here, we've got a tiny little bit of mana, rotten flesh to leather. Why don't we try that out, guys? Got a stack of rotten flesh. There we go. into leather. Now, be aware, guys, it does have like a half a second cooldown time. Like that. So it won't just go ahead and go and do all that. It does have a half a second cooldown time. I'd be very, very careful with some of these alchemy recipes. If it shoots it out and puts it back in, you can get a different type of whatever it is that you're after. So let me go ahead and pick all this stuff back up again, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Further on down the list of stuff that you can actually do is wood. And wood will go and change into a different type of wood for you. But, like I've just shown you, if you throw a stack out, be very, very careful where it lands, because if it lands back in the pool, it will change it for a different type of wood. So let's see if I can nab them. There we go. There we go. All that stuff that's getting shoved back up and put back into the pool is going to get changed for a different type of wood. So just be aware of that fact, guys, that it will, if it can change into something else, it will change into something else. But you've got a half a second cooldown time, so it's not just going to go ahead and pop it off. Say, for example, you've got like XG utilities or something like that with the vacuum hopper, you can go ahead and like do that. But there is something else I'm going to show you a little bit later on that you don't need that. You don't need the vacuum hopper, guys. There is something that will allow you to do the same job. One of the functional flora is called the hopper hock, as you can see here. Pick up only items in frames. Or pick up only items not in frames. I'll pick up any items is what I'm going to set it to. And the hopper hock, would you believe, acts like a hopper and puts it into adjacent inventories. So if I went ahead and got some wood and chucked the stack down here, it would probably start grabbing all that wood as well. But it's gone ahead and put all the loose ones into the adjacent chest. And that's what that can do, guys. It will suck up any loose entities kicking around the place in terms of like blocks and stuff like that and put them into its inventory. I'm going to do a proper full-on guide of all the different functional flora because I haven't really done one of them. You know, I showed you the agri-carnation. That's one that I showed you, and there's a whole load of different ones, guys, that do a whole load of different things. The next one that I'm actually going to cover that was added in Beta 26 was the Ranuncarpus. This one here. Quite a handy flower indeed. The Ranuncarpus, I think it's pronounced like that, will pick up any nearby blocks in dropped item form and place them in the world nearby. It, however, only places blocks thrown at it on top of a specific block. To specify this block, place it right below the soil the flower is resting on. And I'll show you that actually. Let's go and take that out there. Put that there. And put underneath here, let's put some dirt. Okay. And let's put some dirt like this. And put some water in here. Like that. Okay. What am I doing? Yeah, no, that is right. And here's a little setup that I've got, guys. The Ranuncarpus plant is right here. And the reason why it says it's quite handy, look at that. Looks like a hand. We'll place any item that's chucked on the floor will be placed on the block that is underneath the dirt block that it's planted on. In other words, any item that gets chucked on the floor will be planted or put or placed upon a dirt block. So all of this is sandstone around here, apart from these. These are empty dirt blocks. That one's not an empty dirt block, and those dirt blocks are too far away over there. So anything that's put on the floor, say for example this oak piece of wood here, will get placed upon a free dirt block, which is just so happens to be this one. But you can use this as a sugarcane farm. Oh, I think I found a bug. One second, guys. Well, I've reported that, guys. Okay, so if you do it one at a time, you will see that it does work, guys. Look at that. I'm just hoping or wondering if... Let me just knock these off here and do it with all this wood. Because I've tried this before and I swear this never existed. I have definitely done this before and it's not killed all of the things beforehand. I don't know what's happened. Maybe something has changed. Anyways, that's basically what this allows you to do. You can have automated farms, basically, using this random carpers plant, which I think is fantastic. Oh, face palm. I had the hopper hawk. The hopper hawk was picking it up and putting it into the chest because I was just about to show you a different type of item that's the latest Beta-29 that's been added in, and I realised that they all kept getting picked up by the hopper hawk. Anyways, so yeah, it does actually work. Chuck them out. It will go ahead and plant them all individually on top of a dirt block. There you go. Brilliant. I like it. It's good. So, I'm now going to use a hopper hawk. Thank you. And I'm going to plant it right there. Now, I'm doing this for a reason, guys. I'm just going to show you an example of the open crate. Now, let me put the open crate right there. It's basically got a hole in the bottom. And any kind of item that gets sucked up by this, now let me go ahead and put it to any items, will get picked up, put into the open crate, and dropped out of the open crate down there. Man, that can be so useful to people. It can be so useful to people, guys. This is fantastic, the open crate. So let's take a look at it. Shift and right click. Sometimes devices like droppers or dispensers aren't precise or fast enough. A simple solution is to make a crate and punch a hole in the bottom. Yeah, it's that simple. The open crate accepts items from hoppers or any other means of inserting items, of course the hopper hawk, and obviously drops them directly below it. You can craft it with living wood planks, guys, all the way around, and that will get an open crate. And that is the open crate. Pretty simple. Now, I'm all up to date, up to Beta-29, but Vasky says that to me, he says, don't put out that part 2 yet. I've got something else to show you. So he's doing this. I don't know what he's doing, but I will certainly find out, and I'll put it on the end of this episode. So it'll be Beta-30 or Beta-31. I'm not quite sure which one he's on at the moment, but I will download that. I will cover that, and then the episode will go out. Off the press stuff, guys. Back in a moment. Now then, guys, I am back with Beta-30 installed. Now, there is a brand new item, which you can see right there, that's in this particular update. So let's have a quick look, guys. It's in natural apparatus, or apparatus, depending on where in the world you live. It's called the Eye of the Ancients, as the Ancients who used to watch over the world always looked for living beings on it. This block, the Eye of the Ancients, will do just that. By attaching a comparator next to it, it'll send out a redstone signal equivalent to the amount of animals it can find. The counting only starts at 2, so with 2 animals around, it'd output a signal strength of 3. With 3 animals, a signal strength of 4, and so on. Lastly, the time has worn down the sight of the Ancients, so this block can only see around about 6 blocks in any direction. It can be crafted with 4 mana steel, 4 living rock, and an Eye of Ender in the middle there. So here we have a little bit of a setup, guys. Now, there is going to be something else that I can use this with a little bit later on. However, it's not quite out in the current release just yet. But here is that Eye of Ancients right here. And I've got a comparator right next to it there. And I've got a lamp here. So this will emit a signal strength 3 when there are 2 animals around. So as you can see, is that actually lit there? No, that's not lit there. Good. So you can see it is emitting a redstone signal. Let's go and stick some more stuff down. There it is. It's moved just slightly. And one more. There we go. The lamp is now on. So this could be used in conjunction with something a little bit later on that's in newer versions of Botania. But I will cover those, you know, when they do come out and when there's a bit more, so I can get a video together for you guys. But that is the Eye of the Ancients. That's what it does. It gives out a redstone signal when there's more than 2 animals around. So I think you can guess at what Vazk is going to be doing next. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for Beta-30, and that's what I'm doing up to in this particular video. If there's any more stuff in future versions, I will of course go ahead and cover those. But also remember, guys, that this only does a 6 block radius. So that pig that's just walked off over there, yeah, it's it's no longer within the range so it can see it. So the lamp has now gone off. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for Beta 30 and for Botania for 1.7.2. Currently, as it stands. I'll be back in the future with more stuff as it's added. But until then, guys, I've been the Top Man. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, stay safe.